Anime discussions feel different now. Because if you look at how people argue about anime today, something starts to stand out. A lot of these debates aren't actually about the story anymore. They are based on clips, memes, and sometimes opinions formed without the full context. So the real question is, what actually changed?
You don't find that suspicious?
There was a time when anime discussions moved slowly, and that wasn't a bad thing. Where you would watch an arc play out over weeks, then you would sit with it, process it, digest it, talk to people who had actually seen the same thing. The debates were about story structure, character motivations, what a scene meant within the larger narrative. Why did this character make that choice? What is this show actually saying about grief or power or identity? These weren't quick conversations, they were the kind that stretch across forum, threads, Discord servers, and comment sections where people actually wrote paragraphs. There was a shared foundation. Everyone in the conversation had experienced the same story, and the debate grew from that shared experience. Now compare that to how discussions happen today. Someone clips a 30-second moment from an episode. It goes viral. Thousands of people react to that clip before they ever watch the show. A character says something intense and it gets turned into a meme. Now their entire personality is defined by that one moment.
Exactly.
A scene gets pulled out of its arc, stripped of everything around it, and dropped into a fast-moving algorithm feed between a cooking video and a sports highlight. And people form opinions from that, which honestly and sadly at the same time makes sense. There's more anime than ever before, more content than anyone could ever keep up with. Fast clips are how people discover things now. That part isn't the problem. The problem shows up when those clips becomes the entire basis for the argument.
We have a problem. We have a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, we have problems.
Now here's where things get very interesting. Because when you remove context from a story, something natural happens. People's brains fill in the gaps themselves. They take what they saw in the clip, combine it with the discourse they already seen online, and form a complete picture in their head. Except that picture isn't really the story anymore. It's a version of the story built from fragments. A character's entire arc gets reduced to one moment. A theme that takes 20 plus episodes to develop gets flattened into a single tweet online. And when someone's interpretation is challenged, the debate isn't really about the show anymore. It's about defending a version of the story they built themselves. Headcanon starts getting treated as fact, not because people are being dishonest, but because the gap between what they watched and what they think they watched is invisible to them.
Coincidence? I think not.
Now you see this pattern everywhere once you start paying attention. Let's take for example everyone's favorite show that they love to hate, Free Run. It's a show that's deliberately slow, built on quiet moments and emotional damage. The whole point is that, the storyline builds over a period of time. But a clip, a single scene taken out of context, can make it look either boring or it could make it look finger-licking good, depending entirely on what the viewer already believes about it. Neither reaction is really engaging with the show. Both are reacting to a fragment of what they saw online on social media.
Thank you.
Or for example, you could look at any major Twitter argument about anime. 9 times out of 10, the debate isn't between people who disagree about a story. It's between people who saw different clips and are now defending completely different versions of the same show. They're not even in the same conversation.
That's stupid!
Quick question before we keep going. Have you noticed anime discussions feeling different too? Or is it just me? Drop your opinion in the comments. I look forward to reading all of your opinions on this. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button.
Okay.
Keep in mind that this is not anyone's fault.
You lie!
The way we consume anime has fundamentally changed. Streaming means, especially for platforms like Netflix, that entire seasons can drop at once. Short-form platforms reward the most reactive, most shareable moments. Algorithms push content that generates quick engagement, not content that rewards patience. And anime itself has never been more accessible. More people are watching than ever before, which means even more people are in the conversation at every possible stage of engagement. From the person who've seen every episode of a show twice to the person who caught a clip in their feed an hour ago. That's just the reality of how media works now. But it does change the nature of conversation online.
Yes, exactly.
At some point, anime discussions shifted from being about the story to being about each other. People aren't just reacting to shows anymore, they're reacting to other people's reactions. The discourse becomes the content, the debate becomes the entertainment, and the actual anime, the story, the characters, the themes start to drift into the background. Someone posts a take, someone else dunks on it, and someone else dunks on the dunk.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
By the third reply, nobody is talking about the show anymore. They're just performing for the audience watching the argument. And because that's what the algorithm rewards, it becomes the dominant mode of discussion.
Stop it.
So here's what actually changed. Anime discussions feel different now because the way people engage with anime has changed. The focus has shifted from story to reaction, from analysis to performance, from shared experience to fragmented clips. And with every step in that direction, something gets lost. The conversation gets louder, but it gets shallower too. Because a real discussion from anime doesn't come from a clip, it doesn't come from a secondhand take you absorb somewhere in your feed on social media. It comes from actually experiencing the story. From sitting with a show long enough to understand what it's trying to do. That's still possible, but it's getting harder to find. And that's the part worth paying attention to.